So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of the day it is for you. For me, it's about 20 past 4, and you join me on the way to the Blythe because it is a Tuesday. And I've got quite a few videos I want to make, so I thought whilst I'm hitting these slower parts of the route, I would make some, probably one. So I want to start a little new series called Getting the A2. I like the sound of that, just literally thought of it, and that will be a series of videos in where I go through getting my A2 license. So I'm probably not going to really need to mention all the details, but obviously you can only take the A2 license at 19. This is as old as you have to be. You can be older, doesn't matter. So of course you have to have a valid CBT before you start, and I've got that. It's how I ride currently. So once you've done your theory test, which is one of the first things you need. You can do the theory before the CBT, it doesn't matter. But ultimately you need to have a CBT before you start your practical. Theory test is, I don't think I need to explain it too much, but it's so many multiple choice questions, and by multiple choice you get 4 options, and the hazard perception, which is where you have to spot upcoming hazards that will cause you to change direction, change speed, or do something, and then you're marked on that by how quickly you spot it. So the sooner you spot it, the higher you score for that clip. And then there's something like 14 clips, and obviously you have to get so much in order to pass. So, same with the multiple choice. Like, I can remember off the top of my head, you need 43 out of 50 on the multiple choice to pass that section, and I think it's something like 45 out of 70 on the hazard perception. I could be wrong. I'll flash it up on screen if I am wrong. Now, for me, the one I thought I would have problems with is the hazard perception. But really, there's a little trick that somebody told me. That's to look at the sides. And by what I mean is, so as you're coming down like now, try and spot the sort of side exits, so like the gateway there, or I don't know, there's another gateway up here. I think there's a driveway actually. Oh no, it's a dash thing. Or like the driveway there. Now, I found on my clips it weren't necessarily driveways, it was more like side roads. But that was just the clips I was given. Obviously there's going to be more than 14 clips that they have, but obviously you only see 14. So I didn't actually buy for my theory test any of the books. Instead I got the app from the same people. I think it's Focus Media. They used to be, well, they are the company that do all the DVDs, although we don't use DVDs so much anymore. And I didn't really use that as much as I was planning on doing, because I sort of knew a lot of it. There's a bit of background about me. Is my granddad was a self-employed, well, before he retired, a self-employed courier, and in the holidays I was quite often with my granddad, which meant I spent a fair old amount of time in the passenger seat. Unfortunately not a great big HGV, but rather a Ford Transit. But we've always, both me and my cousins have always sort of been, not told, and I couldn't pull any spots out in history where we were being taught, but it was like casual dropping in of road signs and stuff like that. So you sort of learn a thing or two. Now I can't say that'd be the same for everybody. That was just what it was for me, which I think that helped. So I took my theory test in Derby, because for some reason Sutton Coldfield was closer, but Derby was the only place I could get in relatively soon. And yeah, you go there, and the one thing I will say about Derby is that there is no parking whatsoever. It's on the edge of an industrial estate, so you can probably find somewhere to park around there. But if you're getting somebody to drop you off, they cannot wait in the car park that looks like where you think the car park would be, because that's for somebody else, and it does allow drop-offs, but it doesn't allow for parking. Now if you're like me, and I assume because you're watching this video you are, and you've already got a CBT and you've got your own bike, then that's not a problem. I've put it on screen, but you'll see there's a patch of grass just by the railings, and just park there. I got there, there was a fellow who parked his bike up against the railings, and I parked mine there, and had no problem whatsoever. The only thing I will recommend is take something to put under your side stand. Obviously it's grass, it was wet. Luckily I managed to find a rock, but there's obviously no guarantee that rock will still be there. And then you just go in, do as they say, and then you sit your test, and then you know, you do your test, it'll tell you everything you need to do, and then you walk out, sit down, and then they'll call you over, get you to sign on electronically, this little pad squiggle thing, and then you're sent on your way. They don't tell you if you passed or failed, they just give you the bit of paper, and then you can just go out. And obviously for me I passed, so I've not had to rebook my test, but if you'd failed you'd obviously go home, do a bit more revision, and go back and try again, because that's all you can do. So it's about 23 quid, it's not really a lot, and it's nowhere near as daunting as it makes as you think it's going to be. Oh, I sort of set myself up for that. I thought I'd fail. Surprisingly I passed. And yeah, that's it. Once you've got that, you can start your Mod 1, which is where I shall leave this video, because I'll talk about my Mod 1 once I've done my Mod 1. So in the meantime, take care, ride safely, and I'll see you in the next one.